Hey everybody, this is Johnny.
And this is Theresa.
And this is another episode of the
Dyson's Effect.
We also have the illustrious, the great, the effervescent, I'm trying to find some more words for these women, the magnificent, the smart, intelligent, great women of the Gumbo Therapy Podcast joining us, collaborating with us, that also takes the great, numerous, beautiful women as Tammy and Diamond L. Is that correct?
Yes,
correct.
Yeah, he got it right on first try.
Diamond L. That's Diamond L, right?
Yeah.
So,
he did it.
So I want to get right to it because I think that in this day and age and time, you women, my wife, you women, y'all voices need to be heard. Y'all voices need to be heard more in a time like this. And it's a time when me being a man, my life evolves around women. So I'm just want to be a sponge. I just want to learn from y'all as much as I can that way, because that's one of the opportunities where we grow. So I want to talk about the Quavo and Saweetie situation. Now, I don't want to talk about them per se. I want to talk about them as a catalyst to our current situation in relationships. Like, how did it go right? How did it go wrong? Were there any signs? Is there any signs to be even speaking of? I want to talk about it in a way to were things the right way? So in the beginning, 2 years ago, when they met, for example, he slid into her DMs and got in contact with her, and that's how they started dating ever since. Now, starting with you, Dominell, I want to know, is that, even though it's pretty common now, is that a good way to meet a woman nowadays? To have a relationship?
I think that you should shoot your shot no matter whatever it is. I mean, because there are so many forms of communication that if you sliding in someone DM, you never know what may happen. It's just like meeting them at the mall or meeting them wherever. So I don't think that is a bad thing to slide into somebody's DM. Now, if it's going to be a long-term relationship, yes, you need to maybe consider more things to come. Try to get to know them a little bit more or whatever the case may be. But sliding to the DM is not bad or not a bad choice. Not to me, I don't think. Again, all forms of communication, no matter if it's sliding a note to your friend or whatever it is. Hey, let's make the best of it.
Check the box. If you like me, yes, no, or maybe, right?
Right.
Tell me what you think, because I see you. Tammy, come on. Tammy, what you think?
I'm laughing because Dominell knows me and she knows I'm not open to anything. Don't call me, don't text me, don't talk to me on the street. I just have a wall up. But I will say that I have been open to DMs because I know someone who met their husband through DMs. So you know how, us women be posting these quotes, and it was a quote, something like, I don't remember the quote, but I guess whatever he said, it kind of sparked her interest. This is a girl who's probably a millionaire. I ain't gonna lie. She's probably, she does really well. And whatever he said, it worked, and they were married like 5 months later. He seems like he's a good guy. So after seeing that, a person I know it worked for them, and I know, like Dominell said, there's other forms of communication nowadays. We're not just meeting people at school. We're not meeting people at the mall, as you mentioned. We have to meet people other ways. So I will say I am open, and I think it's okay to slide a DM if you own some real shit. Don't DM me and be like, "Oh, your booty looking good in that picture,"
right.
or
intentionally,
or we can, hey, who at your, how can I come by? To me, that's showing me that you want some bullshit. Like, if you're gonna slide in my DMs actually got some sense. At least act like it. You know what I'm saying? So if you come to me, I am open if you come with me normally. Hey, how are you? You look nice. Are you dating someone? Can I take you to dinner? You got some sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it works for some people, but you can't hit me up and be like, hey, your booty looking good.
Hey, shouty. Shouty.
What am I do with that? I can't do shit with that. You know what I'm saying? But it obviously works as men do it. So I digress.
Well, baby, what do you think about sliding into? I mean, can I'm hold on. My wife got a page. I'm finna slide into her DM right now and say something.
So, don't listen to him. For me, I mean, we've been together over 20 years, so I don't know if I would know how to date in this era, because the things that they do and how they're communicating and all of these dating websites, and I'm gonna date you and 3 other girls. And so for me, like you said, as long as you approach me respectfully, being that this is what they are doing now, then I probably would be open to it, long as it's respectfully and not cannot come over or send me a picture or, you know, things like that. So I think I would be open to it because this is what they're doing. I mean, I guess if you're single and you're out here, you kind of got to keep up with what's going on, especially if you are looking to date. So it wouldn't bother me.
Okay, but what about? So I'm gonna pick on y'all women a little bit. So what about when y'all do the picture with the booty all out and you taking all them pictures and what they call them thirst traps, and then somebody slide into the DMs, they be like, you know you looking good in them shouty. Is they wrong? Or because as my wife said, we've been together going on 25 years, but how is they wrong for like saying you like, hey, them shorts all up in there?
I don't think that you can really control what people say, whether it's what you call a thirst trap video, or a picture. Say what they want. Dudes gonna be dudes, clowns gonna be clowns, niggas gonna be niggas. They can see you walking with looking nice and they gonna say whatever. So it really doesn't matter what you put up, because the mindset of different types of dudes is gonna be there. So if I'm in my own zone and I decide to take me a nice picture, it ain't for you specifically, it's for me.
Say that then.
It's for me. It ain't got nothing. And how I respond to it will dictate whether or not I'm open to this. Like, I'm making it easy for folks to just come at me like that. Because this is my page. You can keep scrolling.
I heard that.
New Orleans came out.
I heard that. Tell me, have you been putting up some thirst traps? Because as you said, you are currently divorced, correct?
Yes.
And you probably like, I'm back in these streets, shouty.
Streets.
I don't. Let me tell you why. For one, I have kids, and my daughter's 19, and I don't want her seeing my pictures, up like that. I don't share my friend, but my Instagram page is public, so I don't. Also, because I live in Alabama, and the men here are different, and they gonna go hard. So I don't want them to think I'm about that life. Do I sometimes see myself in a picture and be like, damn, maybe somebody, but I say no, because I know I'm going to get stuff attention that I don't want. I know I don't want no man asking me to come over. I know I don't want no man talking about my booty. So even though I've been wanting to, I'm saying, I know, I'm not, I don't do it. And believe me, I'm not a square. I am not like a nerd, but I know if I put something out there, what happened. Also, because of my job, I can't have nothing crazy out there. So
that's a good.
Let me ask you a question. What's considered a thirst trap picture? Because I mean, women pose how they pose, or they make videos with the intent of whatever their intention is. But with that being stated, what's considered a thirst trap video or a pose? You
I can.
being a man.
I want to add something to that. For me, it's like this: what when we post a picture, what do we intend to receive from it? Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, for instance, like if I'm yelling at somebody, right? What do I if I'm cut somebody out? What do I intend to receive? I know if I'm yelling at someone, what their response is going to be negative, right? So if I post a picture up of my butt, it ain't showing my mind, right? It ain't showing my mind. It ain't showing my degrees. It's not showing, you know what I'm saying, my accolades. It's showing my ass. So what will I receive from that? What do I tend to receive? When I post a picture, I want somebody to think I'm cute. Obviously, if I'm posting my ass, I want to get to see my ass. To me, it's that simple. To me. So I guess like Domino says, like how someone receives it is really on them, right?
Good point.
You may not have been the intention when I post a picture, but it's assumed that if we show our ass, we want men to see our ass and comment on our ass. I don't know. I mean, because but again, you can post a picture, but turn like a nigga gonna say something, right? So it's just all, I don't know.
Coming from an ass man, I'm just playing. Coming from men like ass and breast. The thing is, when it comes to thirst traps, fortunately, I'm gonna say this. I'm trying to see if I can tote the line on this one. Fortunately and unfortunately, men are scumbags, right? You don't even have. It don't have to be. It don't have to be like you showing something. It don't even have to be your butt. It don't even have to be your breast. It could be your arm laying on the side of the car. It'd be like, man, I bet her nails done with them arms or something.
Yeah.
Like, it be the littlest thing because man, we scumbags. Like the stuff I heard when I was young on how men look at women, I'm just like, wow, like I didn't know you can look at that. like the things that men look at. So with thirst traps, it don't have to be much, but the things that do, it could be a girl that be twerking, or it could be a girl, and it's in today's time, that's just her having fun. I'm not pinpointing what the woman is doing. I'm pinpointing it don't take much. It don't take much for a man. I mean, especially when what they say, we hit our sexual peak at 18, 19, 17, 19 while we're a teenager. And women's are usually in their 40s or something like that from statistics and based on hormones. Right. So just think if our hormones been raging since we was a teenagers, some of y'all ain't got a chance. Some of y'all ain't got a chance. I'm telling you, and then so to your point, to both of y'all point, when you say what they looking for, if men are already scumbags out here, and you are having a good time, you looking pretty, Dominelle works out, right? So Dominelle work out, she go to the gym, she do her thing. So just like my wife work out, so on and so forth. When y'all women work out, y'all want to show y'all progress. And it's motivational to other women. It is.
Right.
But it is other men that say, oh, she works out. She works out. Oh.
No, whatever.
Right.
So that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It don't take much. And being that women are the most precious thing that we have on this earth. Nothing comes from a woman. Nothing does not come from a woman. Everything comes from a woman. It's hard to say what a woman should and shouldn't do. That's the fence I'm on sometimes, because I know a lot of women, they think that they should do whatever they want to do. And I think they should. But I do, as a man, I'm also a protector. So I remember one time when the little cameras first came out, my little niece took a picture, and I was like, man, it's hard to protect a young girl during these times, I mean, so for a thirst trap, what's a thirst trap? It don't. I mean, what do you think, babe?
Um, well, I would say a thirst trap from a woman would be her posting herself laying, like I see women posting themselves laying in their bed with maybe some lingerie or bra and panty set on,
Okay,
and
okay.
they're like posed either in a
I'm gonna take a
doggy
mental
style
note.
pic, I mean position,
Oh,
or so my thing in my head, I'm like, what are you expecting to get out of that picture besides a lot of men in your DM? you know, looking at you
Mm.
sexually or, making sexual comments. So those to me are thirst trap pictures. You just doing a post showing your butt, I don't feel like you should receive anything beside that because that just may be a post. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? That
yeah.
just happens to show your butt, especially if you have a big butt, you can't hide it. But when women
Mhm.
do the lingerie and the, posing with their legs cocked open, all that, I feel like that's asking for men to make sexual gestures to you.
Mm,
I
interesting.
agree.
And
I totally agree. Everything you just said, I agree because, like, like I said, like you mentioned, I do work out, and I can't help that if I'm in tights or something like that,
Right,
how I'm shaped.
right.
I'm working out. I'm not looking for attention sexually
Mm-hmm.
if I'm lifting damn weights or if
Right,
I'm running on the treadmill,
right.
those type of things. But like you said, men are scumbags to a certain degree. And before I post some things, I'll even ask my husband, hey, what do you think of this? Do this look inappropriate?
I
You
like
know?
that. I like that.
And so if he said go ahead, then I'll
Right.
go ahead and post it.
I
But
like
I
that.
don't ever put anything that I would think that's gonna cause me to be to getting
Disrespectful.
certain types of,
Right.
attention.
Or
But
just even
everybody's different.
being disrespecting your marriage as well.
Exactly, exactly.
I
Hey.
want to add that I work in harassment. I deal with harassment complaints, and a lot of the times it comes up with people when a girl's wear a short skirt at work and a man sees something to her, or they deserved it. And I want to say, I don't think a woman deserves any kind of.
Mm,
I feel like no matter what a woman posts or does, she should have to be subjected to harassment or comments from a man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we all know, like she said, men are going to be men. And I think it's great that I'm a male. And I think any woman, I really think this is my opinion, even though I'm divorced, I'm kind of old school. I feel like it's important that before you post something to ask your partner, because at the end of the day, we want them to be happy, or, they want to feel like you included them in the conversation of the post, you know what I'm saying? Because, I think it's important to do so. So, applaud to that.
yes, yeah. Now, to Donnell's point, I remember my wife had our grandson, and she was holding him a certain type of way, and to her, it was just a picture. It didn't really mean nothing. But I was telling her like, your breast hanging out, this and that, and this and that. I'm drooling. You need to take that picture picture down because this and that, because she can't see.
Mhm.
This is one of the things that we talk about. She can't see what men see,
Yeah.
and
Right.
I
That's what
can't
I hear
see,
all the time.
right, and I can't see what women see. That's the misconception. So, and I also want to go into my next question is, with the DMs, with the thirst traps, with everything, how we socialize matters, right? How we
Mhm.
socialize, we see, oh, he's good with his mother. He might be a great guy. Um,
Mm.
his past doesn't haunt him, for lack of better words. He come from a good family. All these other things to see how a man socialize in these times. It is very hard to, with the pandemic, with everything that's going on. It's hard to see how people socialize with each other. I think that's a
Mhm.
component that we're missing when we're trying to go into a relationship, because
Mm.
I know you guys can remember the time when someone tried to get at you in your younger days and you kept turning them down. You kept turning them down. But you start seeing him places to places. You start seeing him being around people. You start seeing him acting certain ways, and you was, nah. Good thing I turned him down. He was a fool. Or good thing it took me a while, but I gave him a chance because time permitted itself. It ended up working out. So, do you think that socializing component, especially where we are at now, especially during this pandemic, especially when sliding in the DMs are so common, do you think it's hard to have a barometer on that socializing component before you get into a relationship? Tammy?
I definitely think it's hard because people only show you what they want on social media. These people, I won't say we all, but at some extent, we all kind of fake it on social media, right? We don't show our bad days. We don't show our good days. We don't show the days when we're having a little, having an attitude. We're showing all the good. So I think you have to really be around a person. And you know what else you do? You be around a person's family, because you can see where they come from and how they interact with their family. Because if they ain't shit, it's gonna come out. At a Uno game, Damanelle, she know about that Uno. It's gonna come out. Family barbecue, everybody get drunk. So I feel like, hey, if you want to see how a man is, be around his family. See, be around his folks. It's gonna come out, man. So yes, definitely social media kind of like, camouflages how a person really is. Be around them, touch them, see how they are when they having a bad day, see what their mama talk about, how they did it, daddy in their life, you know what I'm saying? They come from a good family, everybody drunks. Not saying they are going to be the same way, but you got, if you marry him, then you're going to be around them folks if they all crazy. So let's get off social media, go on a date or something.
I mean, I agree. The communication nowadays is limited. You only getting what you see on the internet. It may show that, hey, she's taking a nice pic, but she bipolar right now. You don't know that until you actually really have a conversation. And I think it's important that we communicate not just through text. You have to talk to people, and sliding a DM is one thing. Sending a text message or email is one thing, but when you can actually communicate and have a conversation with someone, that speaks volumes. But a lot of things are limited, and the things that are common, it shouldn't be common. You should be able to have a conversation with people and speak how you want to speak and express and ask questions without even I guess it going left. But again, the communication aspect of it has to be there, and not no damn text message or email. No, we need to talk.
Yeah, I agree. Just because of the Sweetie and Quavo thing. So I would see them a lot in the blogs of, people like, oh, relationship goals, or he do this for her, or he do this for them. But behind closed doors, obviously their relationship wasn't so, peachy and cream. And we didn't know, people don't know that because of social media. Social media makes it seem like, you know, we good every day, nothing's going on over here, this is the perfect relationship. And now that it's out that it was not a perfect relationship, it's like, when are you guys gonna stop saying this is goals, I want this, I want a relationship like that? Because behind those goals, she could have been getting a black eye. Not saying she was, but just be, yeah. So being behind social media is the new wave of how people are socializing nowadays. You have to come from behind the computer and the DMs and meet with someone face to face to really know who they really are.
Even with our kids, even with our kids, we could walk past our kids all day, every day. But if they out and about, they can text us and have a long conversation through text all day, every day. They can text. We can text with our kids. But if they ain't here in the house, they might not say 5 words to us. Right? They might not say 5 words to us. And I think that the communication that we're in, it's almost like we've advanced so much with this technology, but it's I watched a movie the other day, Demolition Man, with Arnold, Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, and he came back from being frozen, and he said, you want to have sex? He was like, yeah, let's have sex. He think he finna get it on. He ain't had sex. He been froze. So she put this thing on his head, and he's like, what is this? And this is how we have sex now? Like, it's supposed to stimulate your mind. There's no body touching. Now, I'm not saying it's gonna go to that, but we have come so far with technology. We're coming lesser and lesser to communicate, because I think with relationships, people are scared to communicate because they're scared to get hurt. They scared to, um, especially men, we scared to be vulnerable with everything that's with this. Seem like it's a big thing of men cheating, public men cheating now, or sexual assaulting women now. So we're becoming in this weird space, because we're getting more and closer. In my opinion, we're getting more and more closer closed off, because we doing the VR now. We're doing the Zoom. We're doing all of these other things that's not allowing us to come close and close. So, even at your job now, it's less interactive. And right, wrong, or indifferent is the point that I'm saying. And sometimes we have to, because of stuff that's going on, because of the job and everything. But I'm concerned that how much of this will affect the younger generation, because our younger generation is not talking. They're not talking like the younger generation. Um, the younger generation are falling more and more into um, depression, more and more into their feelings, their emotional issues is going on. Obviously, we had them too, but it seemed like it's going. Y'all, please let me know if I'm wrong. It seemed like it's going more of a downward slope of them being able to manage their emotions. I'll say better. Domino?
I agree. I mean, they are now getting into, like you said, the technology and the texting. They're not being, they're not really having to have to elaborate on many things. A lot of things are just like, one word response, or is less
Yes,
than what they have to do.
yes.
Um, they don't have to, they're not really talking about their feelings or even understanding why some things are going on. I work in education, so, you know, it's very limited to some of the things that's happening in their environment, not being able to talk about it, not being able to understand what's going on. So, the generation that's coming up, is very limited.
Mhm.
I mean, they got the technology, but a lot of the expression, the oral expression of it and understanding different things
Good point.
is very limited. Um, and I don't even know if that's even something to say, but that's what it is. you know, I don't know how to fix it, but I try to talk to my boys and I try to ask them questions and try to I want them to understand the why. Sometimes they don't understand the why of things, and it's very important. If you understand the why, that means you comprehend everything thing that you're doing. It's not just I don't know.
Mhm.
You gonna tell me why, you know. So
Mhm.
I know Tammy has older boys, and I know her situation is different. Mine's a little younger, but her boys will be attending high school soon. So that's on a whole different level. So I don't know. Tammy, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Well, but my boys are 12 and 13, and I have a 19-year-old daughter as well. So I've noticed that I don't want to talk about how old I am, but I'm 40 and
Oh, you
I'm
not
an
that
80s
old.
baby. And we were able to manage everything. You know what I'm saying? And this, I'm I hate being that person that says in the olden days, but like we, went to school, what I'm saying? We did our homework. We used encyclopedias and computers. And I don't remember, honestly, anybody being depressed. I don't think that was even a word, people got bullied, what I'm saying? People got jumped, people got beat up, and it is what it is. Mm-hmm. These kids now, I'm not sure what happens, but they can't manage shit. They can't manage finding a doctor. They can't manage how to use a map. Mm-hmm. They can't manage when somebody break up with them. They can't manage a teacher saying boo to them. It's ridiculous. I tell my kids all the time, I said, it's not that hard. Life gets harder if you don't know how to manage it. So I don't know, and definitely with communication, the kids nowadays, they on this Fortnites, they're, texting all day. And when they're around each other, they can't handle a meaningful conversation. I remember being up all night talking to my boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? That's what we did. Mm-hmm. We actually knew the people we were talking to. Now, people, they're all fake. Like they have a fake facade on Instagram. They're texting all day and they're around a person and they don't even know who they are. So, it's an old movie I watched back in the day called Idiocracy. And this movie, I forgot what year it was, but in this movie, everybody was dumb as hell because they were just showing, how as the generations get older and the time, everybody's using electronics, people are just dumb. And I really that's what's happening. They can't, if they don't have a phone, they through. They can't. We went hiking recently. I said, do you know how to find north? And they were like, I'm like, well, you need to do this. Like, I was a Girl Scout. I said, I said, but damn, y'all have your phones all messed up. And I'm not going to always be around. So I'm sorry, I'm on my soapbox. I apologize.
No,
but
get on it.
I feel like these kids, I don't want to say they can't be helped, but they need some type of, some kind of resolution because I don't know. They're just lost, to say the least.
I agree. Our 20-year-old, she still wants me to make doctor's appointments and dentist appointments and do this and look this up. And I'm just like, you are an adult. Like, I moved out at 18 and never went back. So the things that these kids, young adults can't do nowadays just blows my mind. It's like, girl, I was doing so much at 20. I was not calling my mama telling her to make me no doctor's appointment, no dentist appointment. So I just think because of maybe the era they grew up in with the social medias and the cell phones. Like my day, we had the beeper and the Boost Mobile two-way phone. Or you beat me, I'm gonna call you back on this payphone, or stuff like that. And Facebook, we didn't have Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. So
did they have MySpace? Yeah, I remember MySpace.
I grew up with the MySpace era.
Yeah.
So all this other stuff they got, I think is hindering a lot of the youth, unfortunately, because all they know is social media or text or tweet, and they're really not living life like they should. They're not really trying to go out there and live it.
They feel like everything is quick. They feel like money comes quickly because of social media. They feel like my daughter, again, she's 19. She's into fast money. She does hair. So, she sees on social media all these, millionaires with these, who are making this fast money. And when she does a wig, she makes money like this. And I'm like, Cameron, I said, that's not real life. Right. She doesn't understand that at some point you have to work. It may take a little bit of time, to get money. I hate on what you do. I feel you, but because of the social media and what these people show on social media, these bodies, we don't talk about the bodies the girls have, right? But they feel like money is quick and you're supposed to look perfect. And you should have relationship goals and house goals and job. And they realize that behind those goals, some people are, really fucked up. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
They really are,
Yeah, they are.
They don't understand that this is all virtual reality in a sense. They making this up. So I don't know. And then I think even us as adults, I'll say for myself, I start to compare myself to people on social media because that's what I see. Normal bodies. I have a normal body. I'm like, wow, this is all the girls now on social media have these perfect bodies. So now this is like the mold that we all should have. Because again, it's how we see. This is the norm. The norm is to have your body done. That's a whole other spectrum, but yeah, that's the goal. That's the model now.
I think that's a good conversation for our next episode we gonna do together, Tammy. But one of the things that do y'all think? I think about this, the Saweetie and Quavo situation. Basically, I think she did an interview somewhere, and basically the guy asked her about a threesome, and then once he asked her about a threesome, she mentioned she will have one with an extra dude, and to me it got blown out of proportion, right?
Yeah.
It got blown out of it. Really wasn't a big deal. She just said she won't have it. So with that being said, as Diamond says, what she does is she say, "Hey, babe, is this okay for me to post this? Is this too much booty? Is should I have long? Whatever it is." She does that. Are we? How can I say, for lack of better words, are we not doing any more check-ins with our significant others? Because, and I'm pretty sure y'all can relate to this, how women say, "You ain't my daddy. I'm grown. I can do what I want to do. You can't tell me what to do." What? What? Because we should have some type of discretion with each other, right? So is the discretion also like, you see,
I understand where you're going with that. However, I feel like if you know a person enough, and if I go do an interview, and if I said something like that, you and I should have already had this conversation before. I mean, or, we talked about this because, I'm usually sexually taking pictures certain type of way. I rap about that kind of stuff. You rap about females. And so y'all never discuss y'all lyrics. Like it ain't never came up to a point where, hey, what do you think about this? Like, again, getting to know someone. I'm not going to say anything in an interview that I didn't have a conversation with my friend or my spouse or whomever. So the situation to me, I think, was blown out of proportion if they never had that conversation. But yes and no. No, we feel like we shouldn't have to come to you and say, hey, is this okay? Because you're not my daddy. You're not my daddy. However, I just think a communication line of, what triggers are. It's going to be a problem. So to keep that problem from happening, hey, look, this is what's going on. What you think? How can I fix it? Because it's going to get posted. But how can I post this and not be alone? It can be appropriate. So that's just my tea on it, my spill.
Come on, Tammy. Tammy, I see them facial expressions all the way from over here shouting. Come on, Tammy.
So I know what to do. For me, this is what I would say. For me, I didn't respect my husband. That was, that's because we have our own issues. I think that me going through that divorce and me knowing that respect is important. For one, like I would say, you should know your partner. You know your partner. You know what your partner will get mad at and will not get mad at. I should know what to say and what not to say. But also, if I have a question on something I have to post, I'm going to ask him just out of respect, because men like to think that they're the boss, right? So let them be the boss. Let them think. Let them think. I know your mind is gonna post it, right? But like, hey, man, you know, what do you think about this picture? You think it's okay for me to post it? You know, make them think that they were in charge. Okay. But yeah, I think it's important to. It's important to include your partner in important decisions.
Like the shirt say, the man shirt say boss, and on the wife shirt it say the real boss. That's what y'all mean? The real boss. Like, I'm really sitting here doing this interview and she got her hand up my back making me talk. Like, she's really telling me what to do.
We already know. We know already. So, you know, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
Let me stand up straight then. Let me stand up straight.
Sit upright.
Let me stand up straight. What you think?
Yeah, I agree with both women. I think the interview got blown out of proportion when I heard it. I was just like, what was so bad about what was said? I mean, she don't want to sleep with another woman. If he wants a threesome, then obviously he's not going to sleep with another man. So he can't expect her to want to sleep with another woman. So, but that goes to show too that maybe there was issues before she had that interview. And that interview just brought out whatever other issues they had, you know. So, and like you said, this should not have been a conversation they've had before. And that should not have been the first he've heard of it during that interview. But once again, social media made it go viral, blew it up. Everybody was talking about it. So it could have probably made him feel some kind of way about it too. And if they didn't have that conversation, he probably was like, well, dang, why you didn't come to me, you know, to let me know this was said, or you felt this way, or this was going to come out that way, or, you know, vice versa. So she probably should have mentioned that to him just to give him the heads up so he wouldn't look crazy once that interview dropped.
Like, man, do you know your girl?
Right, that part, because you end up try to, hey man, what's up? Your girl saying this. What's up with that? With you know, try to egg it on. And I think, you know, again, if you got that if you had that conversation with him, or even she could have smoothed it out by, I don't know, we haven't talked about that yet. You know, that's something that we probably discuss. Like, you don't have to put on. And I think sometimes we like to put on and put too much out there. And then when you go home, it's something different.
Right. And that's what made me say maybe it wasn't all, you know, they wasn't on good terms, because it was just like she was waiting to, you know, let that go.
Like they say back in the day, Diamond, you ain't got to be showing out all the time.
You don't have to show it all the time at all. You know what the hell's supposed to be happening.
You know what you're supposed to say, really. And you know what you're supposed to say in public, damn it. Tammy, what you was going to say?
Well, you guys know that the guy that interviewed her was her ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
So
no, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So that's really what it's about.
When she said another guy, it could have been sent, you know, him or.
Well, she shouldn't have never did the interview if it was going to be tension.
Yeah. If he talked to Quavo before she interviewed, or what happened, but that's her ex-boyfriend. That's Diddy's son. He Diddy's son. So that's really where it's stemming from. She made that joke, which I think she made in jest, but she said it to her ex. And if you heard his comment, that's her ex.
Okay, yeah, I guess it makes sense now why I got blown out.
So this is that leads to another question then. And Diamond, being that you're married and you've been working out, you work in the school system, I want to ask you right now, should you tell your significant other all your fantasies?
I think a common ground, we can share each other's fantasies. I don't think you can share enough because it may change. It can be a fantasy to go and do something right now, and then tomorrow I don't want to do that no more. I mean, it's just a conversation. You should be able to talk about different things and if it comes up, it's okay. You know, so I think you should just share you should share automatic, like whether it's new, old, or whatever. Hey, I used to want to, hey, you know, nowadays I'm feeling kind of, you know, that kind of way.
Hey, I'm in shape now. Dominette, like, hey, I'm in shape now. I do 800 jump jacks.
I may be into this right now. You know, back then, you know.
You know, I'm at the gym now, husband.
Yeah, let's go do this right now. The little thing that you say you want to do last time, we can do that now. But you know, I think it's just a conversation. Have that conversation.
I mean, Tammy, come on. I mean, think of it this way though. This is an interesting thing to look at it though, because what if that was her fantasy and he didn't know? I mean, that's how I'm looking at it objectively, you know, on both ends. So, I mean, Tammy, what do you think? Like, should you tell, or is there a line? Like, because I think, in my opinion, in time, you want to give more and more of yourself with this person, especially if y'all not married. You know, you want to have some type of discretion on certain skeletons in the closet, as they may say, but also no secrets, but certain skeletons. You know what I'm saying? So, should you tell your significant other like a certain fantasies you have?
I think your partner should be open to how you feel. If you're my partner, you're my husband, you're my boyfriend, I should be able to say anything. You know, if he ain't down with it, that's one thing. But I think he shouldn't just say no just because you ain't feeling it. You know, we're growing, like Domino says, every day what we want to do may change. But again, I'll use myself as an example. In my marriage, my husband wasn't really open to a lot of things that I want to do. I ain't speaking sexually, I'm just speaking in general. Camping, you know, anything. But I think that's something that you need to explore when you first start dating a person. Is a man open-minded? If he ain't, you may need to not, you know, deal with him, because you make him deal with him for now, but then you're gonna start building resentment. You're gonna start hating him and mad at him because he don't want to do you like you want him to do you. You feel me? So when you first start talking to a guy and say, hey, you know, you like camping? He might, yeah, I might do that. Cool. Okay. Do you like puppet sex? He say, no, I ain't with it. You with the puppet sex? You may not even deal with him. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, I think it's important just to see how your partner is from the beginning, because you're going to be spending a lot of wasted time with a person who ain't going the same way you're going. You know, that's just my experience.
Tammy, I'm putting it in my notes right now. Puppet sex. I'm gonna look it up. Don't worry about it. We're gonna work around it.
We do not kink shame over here at Gumbo Therapy.
Oh, okay. All right. So puppet sex from Tammy. All right, baby, what do you think?
She's like, nah.
So I think you should have those conversations of things that you may spark a fantasy, or you may want as a fantasy, because it may be you guys might share the same one. So if you open up and say, hey, I might want to do this, or I may be into this and this and that, and they be like, oh, me too, then bam, y'all both is sharing the same thing. So yeah, I think you should have that conversation.
Yep. All right. I'm trying to come up with, I'm Googling right now the top 10 fantasies, and we're going to talk about this after the Zoom. Now,
I'm going to bed.
So, man, y'all, Dominell, Tammy, I just, I love y'all podcast. I love the jail that y'all have. I love everything that y'all do. The Black women that you portray in today's time is needed. A woman that works out and works with kids is great. A woman that, oh my God, that does Tammy's crazy. A woman that is an advocate for sexual harassment and the things that women going on is very much needed. I want to end on this note because I could talk to y'all all day.
Yes, you can.
So I want to end on this note. This last question would be, in today's time, I'm not sure if you guys think so or not, but I would love to hear you guys' opinion. Do you think we are having more relationship issues right now? I mean, because it seems like every other week or every week is something's going on with somebody. I just seen something. I I barely even know who Demi Lovato is. Like I seen Demi Lovato got an issue going on. Then I I googled cheating the other day, and it is the trending topic on Google in the United States right now. And all of these relationships come from celebrities, from the Derek Jackson situation, from even John Gray situation came back up during this cheating thing. So are we in a time where we're having so many relationship issues? And if so, why? Diamond L, come on, Diamond L.
I think that when you are not satisfied within your relationship, or you're not pleased, like those new fantasies and everything comes up, and your spouse is not open, like Tammy said, having an open mind to whatever it is, that's where you start to seek elsewhere. Um, and you just got to know who you dealing with. You know, you could be married, or we've been married for 11 years in June, and we are still learning to communicate, but you got to want to communicate. It's not that,
Say
well,
that.
no, this ain't it, and then now you gonna go seek up somewhere else. No, let's figure out how to make this work. A lot of relationships they're having problems because, possibly because, the one person is not down with what the other person want to do. And then instead of trying to fix it together, it's just going out and it's fast. Like Tammy said, the fast money is fast, it's quick. Let me just go ahead and get it out. But then it's problems. It's going to become a problem. So you just got to know who you messing with. And I, like your wife said, I couldn't imagine dating nowadays because I'd probably be under the jail because I just don't understand it.
Right.
I don't understand it. And so I'm gonna stay in my lane. I'm staying in my lane. I ain't even got time.
Right.
And he feel the same way. We stand in our own lane. We can do it just as much as anybody else being married, but you just gotta know who you're dealing with.
Good point, Tammy.
I think it's definitely more cheating nowadays, mostly because of social media again. For one, we are not communicating with our partners. We're not happy in our relationships. We're not expressing how we feel, what we want. That's just the first thing. Then we have an argument with our partner, and guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna go on social media. Some man gonna slide in my DM, hey, you know what I'm saying? You having some issues. We start talking, that's where it starts, And there's so much out there. Social media is like a dating pool, right? We have all these people at our disposal. So when we're not happy with our partner or we on social media, chatting. Back in the day, you had to call somebody up, you know what I'm saying? Or you had to meet them at church. I don't know who met people at, so there's so much opportunity to cheat out there. And people are doing it. Do I think there's men out there who don't cheat? Of course. Do I think it's rare? In my opinion, I think it's rare. But I think it starts with finding a person who wants to be monogamous. Let's start there. Okay. If you say no, you may not to, or if he kind of confused, you need to go to other, and you want to be with one person, go another way. Let's start there. I mean, men lie, of course, but let's start there. And if you have an issue with your partner, stay off social media. All these men out here are like fucking cats to a damn bug on the ground. I don't know what cats eat, you know what I'm saying? But they're just swarming. They're swarming. They look at any opportunity to attack, you know what I'm saying? And you have to be cognizant of that. You have to see, how these men coming at you. You see this man on some bull. Don't go on that date. Don't go on that lunch because it's gonna go downhill. Because he's gonna feed you whatever you want. You're lacking communication. He gonna communicate. You're lacking money. He gonna give you some money. That's what they do. They're looking for opportunity. So in my opinion, I believe that yes, because there's so much opportunity nowadays to cheat. And also, again, you have to communicate what you want. And if the man you are dealing with is not what you want, you don't mean to be with him.
Mhm.
And that's my TED talk.
Let's go.
Right.
I agree. I feel like if you're not effectively communicating in your relationship, whether it's a marriage or you're just with someone and not saying, hey, I don't like this, or, this upsetted me or this and that, it leaves room for someone to come in and fill that void. So just say, hey, we don't spend enough time together, but I didn't mention it to you. I'm gonna go on social media and do this and do this, or make statuses as you're never around, or I'm lonely, I need something to do. And guess what that man gonna do? He gonna be like, I'm here with you, and you're gonna be like, oh, so you can fill that void. So you just never want to
That's a good point.
open up anything in a relationship to where someone else can come in and take over, or I think that's why there's a lot of cheating nowadays, because for one, like you said, you can outgrow someone, especially if you are not communicating and you're not growing together. It's easy to be like, okay, well, we're on two different paths. I'm gonna go this way, you go this way. So if you're with someone and it's someone you see yourself being with and you can't be without, then you want to make sure that you are keeping that line of communication open. So cheating can't happen. So, nobody can step in and be like, well, let me do this. Let me do this for you because I see your wife don't do that. Or let me do this because I see your husband don't do that. Like, you never give anyone that chance to come in.
Yeah.
I want to
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I want to add one small thing that I learned again in my experience. It's important not to show the world any of your cracks in your relationship, because people can know where to get you. If y'all messing up, y'all having trust issues, don't tell nobody. Don't show out in a group setting, because people will feed on that crack. And that crack is gonna get bigger. Again, this is my experience. So I know before, hey, I ain't saying shit, because I think it's important to be a team. Even if you're issues, you need to be a team, especially in front of other people.
In front of people.
You're bonded. Don't show anybody how to break up your team, because people are looking for that. Again, that's another way to fight to get cheated on, but to cheat is because people see your cracks. They having trust issues. I'm gonna hit it with that. That man, I don't know how, even your friends, I have great friends, but still their experience is different than mine. Their marriage might be different than my marriage. So I really can't run with what my friend tells me to do, because her marriage is going one way and I'm over here. Seek a therapist. If you're that confused, I feel like.
And if you have something going that's good, like I said before, you want to thrive on that. Risking it all ain't it. Like, you can go and risk it all, and then you be out here looking crazy. And for myself, I ain't in the business to be risking nothing.
Say that then.
Yeah. So you just gotta, again, know your partner, know you getting in a relationship with, and just know. You have to know. There's no room for I don't know, I'm not sure, uncertain of certain things. Nope. You need to know. If not, you need to pump your brakes, because risking it all is risky. Shoot.
Well, I think that I'm gonna close on that. I think with everything that we talked about, with our children being less socialized, are times of not communicating more in relationships from the younger generation to the older generation. I think that we was having numerous amount of problems before this pandemic. And as they say, pressure bust pipes. I think that this pandemic has put a lot of pressure on people. One of the things we talked about before, in my opinion, is that that's why a lot of celebrities been, you know, run around with their heads cut off, because they need that attention. They need people to go to their shows. Comedians need to stand in front of the audience, tell the joke, hear the laugh, so they can have a response on the next joke. Or should they go with this joke or not? Or they need that crowd interaction to, and then, an actor, they need people to say, "Oh, you did a great job in that movie." "Oh, well, I just do my best." They need that. They need that interaction. So that's why celebrities is, like a few months ago, a lot of them was trying to commit suicide, because they don't have nobody to interact with. So that was the issue. Now comes down to the common people, to average people. We've been having these issues is because it put pressure on us because we don't have the same things we used to have. So when you meet somebody in a relationship, you're not really meeting them, you're meeting their representative. So being that you're meeting their representative, they're everything you want them to be. And it's harder and harder to live this person as his representative when the resources that you have is not the same. So when the resources that you have are not the same, you can't keep being this type of person and keep holding it up. It's going to falter down, so on and so on and so on and so forth. So then if we go into these relationships like this, or if you're already in a relationship like this, similar to what you were saying, Tammy, is that you don't let nobody see your cracks. Well, that's when the cracks start getting wider and wider because you didn't notice these issues because, hey, you probably wasn't at the house more. You probably was working more, so on and so forth. And you didn't work on having a unified front. One of the things we talk about is having a unified front. We always got to be a team no matter what. The kids don't even know if we argue. Like, we gonna argue, we got to go to a store or something. We got to go leave. We gonna argue somewhere else. We don't argue in the house. So because we might raise our voice or anything. They never heard us argue. So all of these things we need to learn how to use in this new day and age and time now. So in this new day and age and time, we got to learn how to communicate more. We got to learn, okay, how do we deal with these issues after this pandemic, after we have not been socialized, after we have not been around people, after, certain people, races, sex genders, women, all these feel that they've been put down. How do we deal with these people in during these times and make sure we show everybody that they're appreciated and loved? How do we do all these things? And I think that's the challenge everyone is up against amongst being in a relationship. Because how can we go into these relationships if we're not strategically and critically managing all these relationships in a fashion on how we can love each other more? If you've seen a person that's a potential partner, you could see how they can be in a relationship. You can see how they can have these attributes that you would like in a relationship, or if you just would like a common friend in that process. But I'm gonna end on that note. How do they get in contact with both of you women?
Tim, you're on mute.
I had a long day. Had a long day. We're on Instagram, Gumbo Therapy. We're on Facebook, Gumbo Therapy Podcast. We're on YouTube. We are developing our YouTube, so don't judge us. And I think that's it, right, Damino?
Yes. Don't judge on our YouTube. We trying to get that thing to be viewable.
We are our own team, and with our lives is just a lot. So we do what we can.
But Instagram and Facebook is where you would normally see a lot of our content, a lot of the some of the recordings and stuff like that, most of the posts. But yes, Facebook, Instagram.
All right. Make sure y'all follow them. And man, I just appreciate y'all again for
Thank
giving
you.
us y'all time.
Yes,
Please
thank
don't
you,
let
thank
this
you,
be
thank
the
you.
last conversation that we have like this, because y'all voices are much needed. How do they get in contact with you?
Um,
Come on.
Facebook,
And,
Instagram.
and what's your name? What's
You
your
just want me to say it.
what's just come on, what's your name?
I am his Mrs.
Yes,
Dyson.
you sure is. And
Hey, okay, okay.
I gotta make her say it every time, y'all. Come on now. You know, if she the boss, if she's the boss, she gotta say it.
It's okay. It's
Okay.
okay.
Y'all just don't want me to have nothing. She already the boss.
Yep, she the boss.
She the boss. So
He's the
uh
boss.
you can get in contact with me on you as your benevolent coach on Instagram and Facebook, and benevolent coach on Twitter. Our podcast is the Dyson's Effect Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we want to end the Gumbo Therapy. I'm Johnny.
This is Theresa.
And this is another episode of the Dyson's Effect. Thank
Peace.
y'all.